A new pattern is forming inside the Bitcoin chart right now. To some, it may be quite shocking. To others, this may look like something of an opportunistic time to thrive and get this crypto. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Crypto Kirby here, your cryptocurrency expert, back with another edition of the daily live stream. What is going on, my friends? Today I'd like to discuss Bitcoin and the new pattern, rather patterns, that I'm seeing develop inside the chart right now. I'd also like to throw in some outside analytics and data that can give us a more broad perspective and paint a better picture for the overall market as a whole, to see the sentiments and potentially gauge the direction of this market. So as a full-time trader, I'd like to discuss with you my strategy, my game plan, and how I plan to crush this market right now in the immediate term. So without any further ado, you guys already know the deal. If you like these daily crypto videos and nightly live streams, smack that thumbs up button, click the subscribe, tick the little bell. And let's get this crypto. Moon the likes, ladies and gentlemen. Moon them up. All right, so we'll begin with our Bitcoin technical analysis. And of course, before we begin, this is not investment advice. This is not trading advice. These are only my own opinions, ideas, and observations on the market. Always do your own research and your own due diligence before investing or trading, as this market is extremely high risk, and I am not your financial advisor. I will never tell you what to do with your trades or investments. Being said, let's begin here on the 4-hour time frame. For me right now, ladies and gentlemen, the talk of the town, the talk of the hour, too sweet to be sour, is in fact this rising wedge pattern that I've seen develop here really over the course of the past a good amount of candles here. All right, so this is the 4-hour time frame. Now we have a clear upward sloping line of resistance. And what I really like about this structure here is the sheer amount of touch points that we've had along this trend line, with our most recent touch being earlier today. A beautiful Wiccanacci Don Dot. Tell your wife, tell your fat. This is picture perfect, ladies and gentlemen. This line I had drawn before this wick, and this wick came right up to the line before we sold off once again. Once again, are we seeing the trend lines play their role here inside this market? But yeah, I love what we got going along the top. I love what we have going along the bottom right now, really, with this cluster of candles here riding along this line right now. And we are evidently squeezing into the tip of this formation, which would lead us to believe that it's going to break sooner rather than later. Now, I didn't clarify this, but if you are subscribed here, you should know by now, rising wedge patterns are bearish per classical technical analysis theory. So what would I be looking for here? Well, one, I do love that we got rejected along this upper trend line here today. That's great. The other part I like is that not only is it the upward sloping trend line of the pattern, but it's also the bottom line of resistance here on our red box of resistance for the macro trend. I'm loving that too. As we can clearly see here, we have a confluence in the resistance lines, right? We have our upward sloping resistance along with this white line, and that is where we wicked down from. But for confirmations on this pattern in particular, what I'd really like to see is a drop below the upward sloping support, and really a drop below this cluster here, right? And this, for me, ladies and gentlemen, lies around just underneath 5,200. We have old resistance here, which should become new support, and then an old consolidation range all throughout here. So if we drop below 5190, ladies and gentlemen, I believe, in my opinion, that this is going to be a confirmation of a bearish breakdown out of a bearish pattern, and I would be ready to get this crypto. I woke up this morning, ladies and gentlemen, I said, is it too early to do a stream? I decided, I was like, let's look at the watch. I looked down at the watch and I looked at the time, and if you want to believe what time it was, ladies and gentlemen, it said it was time to get this crypto. And I sat down, put the battle helmet on, the mud boots, and the trench coat, and Don Carbonaccio was indeed ready to get this crypto. I've been keeping my VIPs up to date with my trades in absolute real time, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, I do not believe this is a time to be fooling around, lackadaisical, kicking those feet up. Because you all know, ladies and gentlemen, these average Joes, these James at the water coolers, they'll be sitting in Grandpapa's basement playing their video games, where Don Carbonaccio will be sitting here inside the chart making these gains. This is not a time for the fools to be laying around, ladies and gentlemen. We see we are at the peak of a structure here, the precipice, the proverbial powder keg ready to explode. If today's intraday price action tells you anything, it's that we are seeing immense volatility about to enter this market, in my opinion. Look at this heinous, savage wick that we had on the 1 hour time frame, ladies and gentlemen. An immediate wick up to the confluence of bearish rejection trend lines and an immediate sell-off back into the consolidation range. The volume came in. The volume fell off. Right now, for me, it appears that the market is ready to make a large move. Will this pattern wind up being the catalyst? That is yet to be seen, but it is one thing that I'm looking at. Now, a second piece, ladies and gentlemen, still on the 4 hour time frame. Let's take a look at our RSI here. What do we see, ladies and gentlemen? Ding, ding, ding. Chicken wings for dinner. Tofu if you're vegan. A classic bearish divergence on the RSI as well. As we know, right here, we've been traveling on an upward trajectory all throughout this trend, creating our rising wedge pattern. Throughout this time, as the price action has continued to rise, our RSI has been forming a downward sloping resistance. Classic bearish divergence on the RSI, rising price action, declining RSI. Ladies and gentlemen, this is just another bearish indicator for me here, leading me to believe that if we are going to see a large move in this market, in my opinion, my chips right now are placed on the downside action rather than the upside. Also, if we go to our NVT here, guys, the NVT, if you are subscribed here, you would know this is a metric that gauges the volume on the Bitcoin blockchain for the transactions. We could see right now that we are in the red territory. Every time we've been red here in Bitcoin's history, dating back to 2012, we have seen an immense dump off in the Bitcoin market. We are still holding the trend line right now, but we are looking to come up upon it, test it, and see if once again, this metric is going to prove to be correct and plunge us down, deep down into the crypto abyss. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you hear it in my voice. Don Carbonaccio is not playing any games right now. These moon boys, oh Don this, oh Don that. They step in a ring with Don Carbonaccio, they'll be lying flat with their back on the mat. And that's just a matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen, because right now I'm ready to strike like a cobra out of the grass and get this crypto. It's not often, ladies and gentlemen, it's not every day that I see opportunities arise in this market like this. We're in the maturation stage of this move since the $1,000 candle. I believe right now we're entering that period in time where we're either going to BART back down, right? For those that are not familiar with the BART, you know, they look like somebody you may know with a head like that. And they wind up dumping back down like that. If that's going to happen, I believe it's going to happen soon. On the contrary, if that's not going to happen, and we are going to continue upward, disregarding all of the bearish indications, I think that we're going to get our test up to the $5,700 to $5,900 level very soon. I don't think that we're just going to float around in here lackadaisical for any extended period of time. That is only my own speculation, but I am expecting that we're going to get volume that, like what we saw here on this $1,000 candle, to come back in this market and make that definitive move here sooner rather than later. That is my personal speculation. It's going to have to be seen here, but what I'm seeing now is we are just we've matured through these patterns for so long right now in a sideways consolidation for about 2 weeks now, just chopping in this equilibrium. And for me right now, we're going to need to see that the bullish ascending triangle breaks to the upside. Or we're going to see that this is just distribution here after a pump, and we're going to get a breakdown out of the rising wedge. We're going to get a breakdown out of the upward sloping support line of the macro trend. And then we're going to see our bearish divergence play out on the 4-hour. We're going to see the NVT flip red, fall below that trend line, test it, and plunge. I think there's so many things in the pot right now, ladies and gentlemen. The recipe is ripe for an absolutely immense move here, in my opinion. And you best believe, ladies and gentlemen, I will be keeping you up to date in absolute real time with every single trade I make in VIP. I'm watching this market like a hawk right now, 24/7. Alerts, alarms. When the market is moving, so am I. And I'm ready to get this crypto. So I will be keeping you up to date in real time with every trade, every entry, every exit, every target, every insight, every strategy I have in absolute real time, exclusively for you in VIP. Shout out to my VIPs. I will see you all in VIP right now. Let's get this crypto. Now, I'd also like to look at some other things here, ladies and gentlemen, some outside analytics to really crunch and further the analysis that we've seen here today. But if you are just tuning in now, don't forget to moon up the likes, moon them up, smash those thumbs, click the subscribe button, tick the little bell. Let's get this crypto. Satoshi needs a new pair of shoes. Sheesh, ladies and gentlemen. When life gives you lemons, squeeze them out into a tall glass full of Moon Boy tears and make that Moon Boy lemonade. Let's get this crypto. Some words of wisdom from Don Carbonaccio. Let's get this crypto. So now we are here on the Bitcoin Google Trends data. What I have right now pulled up is worldwide data over the past 30 days. We can clearly see here that the peak of our volume came in when we had our $1,000 candle to the upside. Since then, we've fallen off and we're now hovering between the 51 and 50 region. That is relative to the 100 at the peak there, the day that we got the super candle. So essentially, we've lost half the search volume, ladies and gentlemen. To me, that is not a bullish indicator, as we are back here relatively in the vicinity of where we were pre-super candle. Which means that all new speculators that came in searching Bitcoin, right? I'm talking about average Joe and James at the water cooler that were sitting in the cubicle, ladies and gentlemen, when someone tapped him on the shoulder. You see Bitcoin, James? You see Bitcoin? Might be time to fire up the old Coinbase, James. I'm talking about those people, ladies and gentlemen, that saw the pump, wanted to FOMO in. Oh my, Bitcoin, oh my. They're apparently all gone now. Again, I mean, in terms of search volume, it appears that the lust has been lost here in terms of new speculators looking up Bitcoin information on Google for the time being. Just another bearish confluence to add into the pot and stir that recipe up, right? Also, the fear and greed index for crypto right now, guys, is back at a 61. For the past 3 days in a row, we have been over 60. As we see here on this metric, this is not something to fool around with, ladies and gentlemen, as we tend to drop off in dramatic fashion every time that this thing hovers in a overbought, greedy scenario. Time and time again, we've seen it play out. Time and time again has this cyclical formation rolled along time in and time out. Now, of course, past performance is not indicative of future results, so this is not a certain this is not certainly going to happen. But from my perspective, I see that there's a high probability for us to get a rejection down into the fearful range, as we've seen it play out so many times in the past, ladies and gentlemen. For me, I don't like to fight against statistics. Past performance, there's a reason, right? Human psychology plays over and over again the same way over and over again. That is why bubble pops look the same. That is why market cycles look the same. That is why technical analysis is a great measure and measurement of the market, as we're measuring human emotion and using it to our advantage here by judging what's going on with human emotion by looking at the candles in the chart, right? That is all we're measuring here, guys. Let it be known. We are measuring human emotion as they tend to be cyclical events. I hope I'm saying this correctly. Human emotions tend to play out the same way time and time again, over and over and over again. And that is why you can measure that emotion with technical analysis. That is why patterns are cyclical. That's why trends are cyclical, etc., etc. All right, end rant. A third thing I'd like to look at here, ladies and gentlemen, is the Bitcoin tweets historical chart. This is tweets per day containing, I believe, the word Bitcoin or BTC. Maybe it's a combination of both. I do not see it exactly here on this website, but this was some unique data I thought that would be beneficial for us to look at. Obviously, guys, at the peak of our bubble, late 2017, early 2018, we reach our peak right here. And where have we dropped off to now? If we look at it all the way over here, ladies and gentlemen, we're back at 2014 levels. Savage, heinous, and a borderline debacle if you do in fact ask me. Right now, with the combination of the tweets being so low, with the Google Trends data, not only here on the 30-day, but if we go out to the all-time, we can see, ladies and gentlemen, we are so far off from our peak at the height in 2017 at a 100. We are right now, tentatively, we finished last month at a 9, and right now there's still, roughly around half the month to go. We're only at a tentative 13, and this may actually fall off as last month's was slated to be higher and it finished lower as well. This is incomplete data here for April. But guys, we could see that for me, the market still right now just doesn't seem ripe for an incredible bull rally to spark a new bull run and end the whole thing. I've seen a lot of hullabaloo, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of Moonboy Garbaggio talking about some new bull run to 20K, 100K, 300K, 500K. I hope that happens. I hope it happens because, I'll be dancing on the I'll be dancing on the tabletops with James at the water cooler as well, ladies and gentlemen. I'll fill up his cone-shaped cup with H2O for him. I'll fill one up for myself and slam it home. But you best believe right now, I think that it's playing with fire to be getting overly bullish in these conditions. Does that mean that it can't be bullish? No, it could be, but I think it's very, I'm cautious, ladies and gentlemen. For me right now, I'm looking for potentially life-changing trading opportunity. And I think just blind hope that a bull run is here and it's about to just go to the moon is very, I don't know. I really don't want to spend too much time on that. It's just that if the bull run is here, wonderful. I'm going to play it bullishly. If it's not, I'm going to be playing it cautiously and looking for more shorting opportunity to potentially retest our resistance here that could become new support, and then look to potentially continue our uptrend from there. Very simple in my eyes, ladies and gentlemen. I have a plan for everything. If you fail to plan, then your plan is to fail. Don Carbonaccio does not fail to plan. Don Carbonaccio plans to succeed, and I keep my VIPs updated with all of my plans in absolute real time. Every trade, every entry, every exit, every stop loss, every take profit, I post it exclusively for you in VIP. I will see you in VIP right now. It's time to get this crypto. It's time to transform yourself from average Joe into savage Joe. Let's get this crypto. I will see you in VIP right now. And the last thing I want to touch upon, guys, is I've been seeing a lot about this bump and run theory, and I've been getting requests in the comments to talk about this. For me, ladies and gentlemen, I see the bump and run. I see that it could be possible here. I'd be awaiting confirmations on it. I'm not putting all my marbles in on that theory. I mean, it's not that it's not doesn't look valid. I certainly see the validity there. I'm not going to discredit it by any means, but it appears to me that we would be at the trend line right now. And if we start to get the run, quote unquote, that's when I would start adding some validity to it. For me right now, there's certainly no way that I'm going to, be blind hoping into a long position here, going all in, hoping that we're going to the moon, because it's just very difficult, guys. It's very difficult to break out of a bear market, and I think people forget about this. Bear markets generally just don't flip in a snap of a finger into a bull market and all of a sudden there's euphoria again. You have to understand, guys, people got burned here. People lost a lot of capital investing in things that they have no idea of what they were doing or what their target was. They had no plan, right? People were buying right here and had no plan, no stop loss, no take profit, nothing. They just were in complete euphoria. They Jamesed at the water cooler right into the market with no plan, and they got wrecked. These people have a sour taste in their mouth, ladies and gentlemen. They're not looking to just go all in again here, right? That's not generally how markets work. So for me, I'm remaining cautious, and I'm ready to trade, guys. Like I said, right now, I'm getting absolutely aggressive here. There's so many patterns and confluences here that I'm seeing that are amassing to me that a potentially heinous move is about to hit this market. Are you going to get caught like a deer in the headlights and wind up taking that trip to Wrecked City with Average Joe and James at the water cooler? Or are you going to be the one that prospers, thrives, and crushes this market? Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to transform yourself from Average Joe into Savage Joe. Let's get this crypto. I will be posting all my trades, entries, exits, targets exclusively for you in VIP right now. Shout out to my VIPs. I will see you in VIP right now. It's time to crush it, and it's time to get this crypto. I will see you all in VIP right now. Ladies and gentlemen, if you could one last time, moon up the likes, moon them up. Smash those thumbs, click the subscribe button, tick the little bell. Let's get this crypto. Satoshi needs a new pair of shoes. Are you going to get caught like a deer in the headlights and go take that trip to Wrecked City with Average Joe and James at the water cooler? Or are you going to be the one that crushes this market, thrives, and gets this crypto? The choice is yours, ladies and gentlemen. I will see you all in VIP right now. Shout out to my VIPs. I will see you in VIP right now. And until next time, my friends, be safe, be happy, be healthy. It's your boy, Crypto Kirby. Peace and love, my friends. Curbs.